we'll just.
Welcome to the Weasel. Welcome to the Weasel. Whip out your dicks and shove them in your ass. Welcome to the Weasel with Mike and Jonah.
Yeah, that is cute, right?
It's
a little
cute.
countdown. Sorry. Okay.
Naturally.
I have my list of topics for Gabby. Welcome, dude. Is everything good? Everything does not sound good.
No, I think everything's okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to collect myself. I'm a little bit fucking today.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're starting a little bit. I think this is a little bit later than we usually do, or is this about on time for you?
I think this is the normal time.
Oh, it's just later for me.
Yeah, it's just later for you. Yeah.
It's normally 4 o'clock in Colorado.
We usually, I don't know. We're bad lately. We start.
We
late.
haven't really been on the ball at all. You probably can't tell from the podcast, Gab, but we've been lollygagging pretty hard lately. So.
Hey, as long as I get the Thursday notification, I'm good. That's all that matters.
Yeah, dude, she actually gets the notification. I was like, we sent out notifications, and she's like, yeah.
Oh, on Patreon.
Yeah, I get an email
Oh,
when they get.
so you didn't get one this week, did you?
Honestly, I don't remember.
No.
I guess not.
You can
Nope.
ask it.
No, I haven't posted it yet. I've been really bad this week.
Yeah,
It's been a weird week.
Dude, I also didn't do it. I mean, like, obviously I'm traveling this week. I'm here in North Carolina, visiting my dear friends William and Gab, and Gab just so fucking happens to be the #1 fan of our podcast that you're listening to right now. She's listened to, I think you've listened to every fucking episode.
From the get-go.
Wow.
Well, because I figured, like, I can't start listening in the middle.
No.
I feel like there's back.
Did you have to binge it? It's like
I did.
Some days?
Yeah. So
That's rough.
When my brother moved out here, I drove 3 hours there, 3 hours back. And then I took another solo trip. So, like, for 12 hours of my life, I binge listened.
Wow.
And that was probably the early days too, before
it
we
was-
were. Now we're semi-listenable.
Yeah, it was rough riding there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Give us a 0 out of 100 in the world of podcasting where you think ours ranks. And I need you to be honest, Gab. You're the one that's listened to us the most.
On like a listenable scale?
Yeah. Like it's fucking, I don't know, like a banshee yelling into a microphone, and then 100 is like, I don't know, like I don't know. What's a really good podcast?
I imagine if like Pope Benedict had a podcast.
That's
where he
100.
was just
right.
like he was reading like I don't know, he was like changing the
Bible?
lyrics to popular pop music into like Gregorian and just reading that, you know, like
Yes.
I don't know, like
So-
Iggy Azalea, and he's reading Iggy Azalea lyrics but like in Gregorian. Yeah, I reckon that'd
That's
be like
100.
100.
I think
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
listen to that actually. So.
Yeah.
Everybody would. I'm telling. That's a great podcast.
The only thing holding our podcast together is the fact that one doesn't exist yet. Like, if that one exists, like, we're gonna get bumped off the charts for sure, dude.
Everybody's toast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
What
I
if-
think.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna say, what if we make that podcast? All we have to do is learn Gregorian. I mean, it's just a language, right?
And become the Pope.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to become
I think maybe if we skip some steps, that might work out a little bit better anyway. Maybe because we have the podcast where we're changing pop music into ancient Gregorian, then they're like, hey, guys, you want to be the popes?
Dual popes.
Dual popes. Think about it.
Man, how does one become the Pope?
Those popes.
Yeah, well, let alone 2 popes. Like what do you like? That has to be like a family lineage, but
Yeah.
money's probably exchanging hands, I reckon.
Well, it's the Catholic Church, of course. Money.
I mean, I think
It's
they
moving.
don't deal in money; they deal in kids' assholes. So that I bet there was a few assholes changed hands every time there's a coronation, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
the president's book, but the Pope's book of assholes.
Yeah, it just has they're all laminated.
Yeah.
Nice. It's nice. Good book.
They've got a little 1 out of 5 ranking on them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Comment section.
back to the ranking.
Oh yeah, what's our so what do you reckon,
Yes.
Gab?
So we know what 100 is.
So, at the beginning,
Okay. Yeah.
low teens.
Let's talk okay, so was that we've roughly done now at this point about 100 episodes.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is episode
Combined.
70 of posted. Yeah.
Right, but including the Brorch, we've probably done about 100.
Yeah.
And Gab's listened to all of them to include the Brorch episodes. Go on Patreon, the Weasel. Sign up. You get a whole nother podcast every week. Unless we forget.
Yeah, early days, I would say low teens. It was hard to listen to, like, in one setting.
Well, out
That's
of
hard to hear.
100?
Yeah.
Out of 100 it
Yeah.
was low teens.
Yeah, we
Like it.
like were you listening? You're like, they
Whoa,
should
that's-
quit.
Well, because let me tell you part of it. Part of that analysis comes from the audio. Because I'd be driving in my car and have to turn it up and down. So
Yeah.
that feeds into it. But now I give you a solid. Have to do Barstool numbers, so 78.7.
That's pretty
You're
good.
climbing. We're climbing.
That's pretty good,
That's
dude.
really good. 78.7 from 15.
That's a C plus.
or less.
15.
Fucking
But
I've made my career off C pluses, man.
Yeah.
never do anything perfect because then they ask you to keep doing it, you know.
Dude,
Yeah.
C plus
C
is all
plus.
the way.
You can quit
Mission
your day
accomplished.
job now.
Yeah, is there
Almost.
any advice? Yeah. Don't, not yet, dude. Not yet. Is there any? I don't know. I want to take advantage of the fact that I know someone so well that actually has listened to every fucking episode of me and Mike and talking, and I'm like, I need feedback. What could be better?
I don't know if I'm the one to ask that.
I think so.
I think you are the.
I think
the
so.
only person. Where's
I
our
mean, we don't
business
want to
model
we
going wrong?
surely don't want to put you on the spot, Gab, but also we really do
We do.
appreciate your opinion on the subject
Yeah.
because I mean you have listened to every episode.
Yeah, no, I think just to continue what you're doing, honestly. It's just gotten better.
Steady the ship, buddy. We're good. Don't change a thing. No, not even consistency of
Nope.
social media.
Now we're doing fine, dude. Perfect.
Jonah, you talk too much and you soak up all the air in the podcast. Yeah.
I'll make some notes over the next
Yeah.
month or so. I'll send an email.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's brutal.
Do you have a favorite episode that we did that you thought was really
that's a good
good?
question.
Oh, that is a good question.
I like how we brought you on to ask questions about our podcast.
Our
but
podcast. Oh
we're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
others.
Tell us, what do you think? Oh man, yeah.
I didn't prep for this. There's been a few that I've been cackling at myself in the car lately, and I cannot. One of them recently on the Patreon, spoiler alert, we talked about this, the toilet paper dunking.
She had a real hard time.
I can't.
That's
I can't.
disgusting.
It's
That's so
bad.
gross. I can't believe you did that, dude. That's so nasty, bro. It's
You
just
guys I'm telling you, you guys are wrong. All right,
Well,
because
we're telling you that you're wrong, and because you suck. So we don't even need to hear why we're wrong.
No.
Trust me, that's foul. And if you don't know what
No,
we're talking about,
dude.
go to the Patreon.
I'm using shit water. I get it. I'm using shit water
Yes.
to wipe shit away from my asshole, dude.
Right, but you're
Like, it's fine.
you don't want to
like-
put more shit water up onto your asshole. You're trying to get rid of.
Otherwise, I'm just using dry toilet paper to smear the shit around my asshole. No, you need
Dude,
a bit of water.
huck a loogie on that shit and go to town, bro. I don't fucking know, but anything but shit water, dude.
A loogie would work pretty well, I reckon, to wipe your ass with.
It would. It's a great lube. It's probably be great as a bidet item as well. I don't know. Nasty.
I feel like I made mom and dad fight.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine like just like some dudes fucking you, and then they're just fucking slaps you right in the
like-
clit and slides down. You're like,
It's
what
dry.
are you gonna do? Yeah.
Needed something better than poop water.
Yeah. I keep a jar of shit water next to my bed.
Oh, fantastic. Ooh. Gab, you've been listening to our podcast for yonks now. We're not going to plug it anymore because that's ridiculous. But you have kind of an interesting perspective into how we've changed over the last few years. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I think, like, you guys as people have grown, so that helps, like, the podcast grow. You've, like, gone into more deeper subjects than just, let's get fucked up and talk about shit all.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
sexcapades.
We got through this much.
It was a big one.
Yeah, it was
I had a lot of
it
stories
was
to
a lot
tell.
It's hard to squeeze it in 1 hour. But yeah, I think, like, over the last couple of years, like, you guys kind of grown up as adults and as men, like, kind of help translate into
That's great.
stories.
Because this
And talking.
podcast is about growth. At the end of the day.
I forgot that's what your bio is.
Also, the other advice she gave me, she's like, yeah, whenever you guys did those sober months, your podcast sucked. And I was like, yeah, no. You ain't the
Yeah,
only one.
It was less laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going-
not
More
just
serious.
like on not just on the listeners but you guys seemed sad.
we were sad.
We were, very quite sad.
No, alcohol is literally a performance-enhancing drug when
Yeah.
it comes to podcasting.
Yeah.
For sure. To the
It's
point
true.
where, where's our 98.6% C plus coming from? How much of that is the booze? Is a good question.
Yeah.
But I don't care to piece that one out, you know?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of stuff lately about comedians that are going sober because they have like serious problems and stuff, and I'm totally behind it. And they always talk about how, like, I thought that I wouldn't be funny if I wasn't drinking or
Right.
taking whatever it was I was taking. And they're like, but you know what? I think I am and stuff. And then I caught myself sometimes I'm thinking like, man, I don't know if y'all are, right? Not fully,
There's gotta
not
be,
not
like,
in the
a
same way.
percentage.
Yeah. There's got to be like a tiny bit, right?
I thought about stopping, like quitting drinking, and then I was like, but I gotta make millions of dollars with my podcast someday, so
Right.
That's so
gotta keep this train rolling.
Dude.
Cheers
Next
to
step,
that, dude.
heroin, dude. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Happy Cinco de Mayo, by the way.
Oh, it was. It's not here anymore. It's past, but
No.
I'll celebrate in lieu with you guys.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's
Happy
the
Cinco de Mayo.
6 de Mayo.
The Sace in upside down world, yeah. I did want to ask you.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you too, Gab. What's it like living with me for 1 week?
It's like having 2 Williams.
Oh no!
Oh
no.
To an
God.
extent. To an
Ugh.
extent.
Like I've definitely come in and like fucked up y'all's routines and like not cared. Like that's the other part. Like a lot of house guests come in and they're very polite and
Oh,
I'm like,
sorry about you.
and I'm like, no, I'll sit wherever the fuck I want on the couch. Thank you. I'll eat whatever chips you have in the cabinet. I'll leave the toilet seat up. Listen to last week's Brorch for that argument. That one, we didn't post that one yet. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Wow, I wish you would have posted that one. I'm a big stickler on the toilet seat.
Are you really?
No,
I
this
don't
is
use
actually
that
perfect.
bathroom.
This is actually perfect. So why is it that you are such a stickler on the toilet seat? What is your opinion on the toilet seat, Gab?
I would prefer it be put down.
Well, yeah, no
after
shit.
Use. Like it shouldn't be left up.
Why?
Because it's courteous to the ladies. Or
Courteous
what if?
to the, that's equality, baby.
Or courteous to the next person if they have to shit.
Yeah,
like
but
I don't like touching the toilet seat to put it down.
neither do I to put it up.
No.
So I don't want to
No.
touch your fucking toilet seat. So then I have to touch it twice, cause if I come in and take a piss, right, I'm a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So I come in, I lift the toilet seat up. That's a touch
Mm-hmm.
on your disgusting toilet seat. And then I take my piss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to compliment the ways of the household. And I've tried since I've been here, by the way. I've tried to remember to put the toilet seat back down, just because this isn't, it's not my house.
Yeah.
I understand. But I forget. And I know I have. And I know you've walked in the bathroom and seen it and gone.
Well, see, I don't use that bathroom. I would prefer using my own bathroom.
Sure.
But walking past that, I did catch a glimpse of it up,
Sure.
and I kind of tensed.
Tense.
You
But
tense.
then, okay, so I'm done
yeah.
with my potty, and then
Uh-huh.
I have to touch it again to put it back down. Like, that's 2 touches on me, 0 touches for you. That's not fair.
You're right. But
You fucking hear that, dude? Suck it, internet.
I can name them, the people I know who don't put the toilet seat down, so I just kind of prepare myself.
Great.
And you're one of them.
This isn't
so.
this isn't the first offense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the first offense.
No, I mean, all that being said, though, I do really appreciate you and William opening your home to me.
Yeah, in our
for
office.
a week. Yeah, no, they set me up in their. They have like a whole home office here, dude, and dude, I had a banger week at work too, like really successful week, and it was kind of nervous coming in because I'm like, oh, new space, like I don't know where the fucking the dick wipes are at. I don't know if somebody's gonna be mad at me for leaving the toilet seat up or not. I've trained it out of Janie at this point.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
But either way,
Once they're married.
no, shit ain't changing around the house. I'm calling
yeah,
you
righto.
wife. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But no, I want to say thank you for welcoming me into your home.
Of course. Anytime. Anytime.
Okay.
I'd like to think we contributed to your success at work this week.
I think so. Yeah, dude. I not to get too into the weeds there, but I did my job is software sales. I sell things to fucking local insurance people, or not local, nationwide insurance people. One of the people that I was calling and emailing to no success was like down the road, dude.
Oh.
So I was like, I'm just gonna show up. Is that cool to this dude? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh fuck.
Oh, you did one in person.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah,
popping.
yeah. So like I had my same like,
Shit,
hey, I'm trying to talk to you
bro.
about technology, but like I showed up in person with a collared shirt on, and like we had a nice conversation. Cool dude, honestly.
Was
I
it that?
really
Was it
enjoyed
that
him.
shirt?
No, should have been.
Should have
Should've
done,
been.
dude.
He
That's a
might have
power
liked it.
shirt, bro.
Yeah, Gab did approve of my outfit before I left, so that was nice.
The shirt was not an option. Just so we're clear.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
didn't bring that one down.
yeah, sorry. But regardless, no, dude, it's been a shit hot week.
That's good. That's really good. And what about you, Gab? Did you guys have a shit hot week as well?
We did, yeah. We did a lot of like huge international shipments, which is cool. Like big bucks on that, and I have been like pushing hardcore all of my print. Are you okay?
It was too big of a swallow.
was that?
Too big
You
of a
What
should-
was
swallow.
that, dude?
Usually I pace it a bit more, but I failed. Sorry, please
No,
continue.
you're good. A lot of my like print things that I've made and printed and put together all went out the door this week. So we had a big sales week, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I wanted to ask you about that particularly. I mean, a couple things there. I mean, I want to talk to you about what it's like to be a business owner. We've talked to William about it before in the podcast too. But I also, more particularly, I'm noticing that you're really taking control of this whole like graphic design, printing
Yeah.
type skill set. Really, like
Yeah.
that is a extremely valuable skill set in a lot of places. Especially, I'm sure it's growing more and more as the internet fucking takes over the world.
It is, yeah, and it's really undervalued. Like, there's a lot of people who will come in and ask for really specific things we've never done before, or for me to create something completely from scratch for them. And I'm like, yeah, like, just, like, up front, it's a start-off $20 design fee. Like, if it takes me 4 hours, then it's gonna go up.
No,
And
you
then,
need to up that shit from the go.
I know, that's what William said, too.
That should be.
But, and then, like, on top of that, like, your print costs, if you require multiple changes, like, it all upcharges. And a lot of times they'll come to pay and they're like, wow, that's really expensive. But they don't think about all the time, effort. And if they need it rushed, we charge a rush fee. So, like, they don't understand that they're not the only ones. That's not the only project I'm working on. Like, I'm usually working on 5 or 6 things at one time.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, it takes a lot of time. So it's a very, I want to say, like, undervalued kind of thing. Cause,
I mean, like the business portion aside, though, I bet you're getting good. Like, you have a lot of, like, low stress practice, essentially.
I do. Yeah. No, I definitely do. We had a guy come in a couple weeks ago. I just printed off a bit large photo print for him. And he was asking me all these questions about, like, Photoshop and Illustrator. And he said, where'd you go to school? I was like, oh, I went
YouTube?
Jackson State Community College?
Johnson County Community College. I said, I have a 2-year liberal arts associate's degree. And he said, oh, you didn't go for, like, graphic design?
How long did it take you to get that 2-year?
5 years.
That's all right. That comes out in the wash. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. I did it in 5 years, okay? Hey, it's faster than some people.
No, some people never fucking finish it. So
See, I finished
No.
something.
yeah,
Something.
something's good.
Something's good. But yeah, so I was just kind of telling him, like, it's all self-taught. Like, we bought this store and I had to figure out how to do it. It was either me or William, and I'm more creative on that aspect. So, yeah, everything's self-taught.
What was that like? between your wait, hey, someone's gotta design the shit for printing, and like I feel like you two just looked at each other and you were like, I got it.
I'll take a crack at it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, no, I think it was just kind of assumed because I've always been like creative and artistic and.
Were you like doodling in class and shit? Well, it took you 5 fucking years, so yeah.
I was doing other things. I was busy, okay?
Yeah, you were busy.
No, I was never a doodler, but I did. I painted a lot in college.
Oh, that's cool.
My first go around.
Jenny's trying to get into college, or not college, painting.
She done did the damn thing. You talked about it.
She did a lot of college, yeah.
What did you paint?
Just like acrylics. I would just like mess around with stuff. I actually have some of them upstairs in the attic. They're not. I did my freshman year of college. I lived in like the art dorm at KU, and they had like an arts week, so you could submit pieces of artwork. And I repainted the Sublime 40 Ounces of Freedom like album cover onto a canvas. And just submitted it, and I got first place for like most creative in my dorm.
Well, creativity? That's copyright infringement, bitch.
That's what I thought. I thought the same thing, because I got like the little like certificate or whatever, and it was like, yeah, first place, most creative, like 10 points for Gryffindor kind of thing. And I was like, most creative. My roommate was like, didn't you copy that off of an album? I sure as hell did.
Hold on, did the people judging it not know?
I thought
about fucking Sublime?
I thought it was like fellow students judging, and apparently it wasn't.
It was just like
a bunch of old fuddy-duddies.
They thought you came up with that design?
There was like a knife in there and a little bong and like the alcohol bottle. Like there was a lot.
I'm just picturing like
most creative.
Very.
You still have it?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Can I buy it?
You want to buy it?
I'll buy it.
I sold my first piece of art.
Well, great. We'll negotiate price, but no. I mean, why is it just in your like? Why is it in your attic and not being displayed?
It's not really like a living room piece. It's more like it's good.
Depends on the living room.
Depends on the living room. Can't go in my living room. It could go in here though. We haven't actually hung anything up in this room except for whiteboards. So
I mean,
that's why it's still upstairs.
I mean, an award-winning piece of art. I think that's worth at least
100%. Why did you say whiteboards like that? Do you hate the whiteboards?
Oh my god, dude. We can fucking pan around the room, dude. William's actually obsessed with whiteboards, and then he called me one day. Yeah. No, he called me one day.
We like to write things down.
It's because they're stupid. So they forget things all the time. So they gotta hurry up and write it on something. And they gotta have a whiteboard on every fucking surface in the house, or else they forget.
So this is a 4-month calendar whiteboard. There's a 12-month calendar whiteboard over there, and then there is a 4-foot by 3-foot behind you.
Yeah, honestly, kind of nice. I do like it. I'm talking shit, but like I do like the organization of it all.
No, I fought it for a while. Like I did not want. Like, that has giant screws in it. Giant. Like, there's 4 holes this big in that wall. And I was like, I don't want to have to patch those when we move or when we rent this place out. But they are very handy. Like, we know our whole year.
Yeah, William calls me. In the background, I see, like, 4 large, like, very large, skinny boxes stacked up behind him. And I'm like, what the fuck is all that, dude? He's like, whiteboards. I'm like, huh?
Why?
For what, dude?
Are you guys selling whiteboards at your shop now? Or?
Damn, you guys should sell whiteboards.
It's not a bad idea.
Probably should do. You can have the town's largest selection of whiteboards. Whoa.
Maybe you guys should become a
Give me a
whiteboard
pen.
store.
Just
Write it down on the whiteboard.
Yeah, there's whiteboards everywhere. Quick, before you forget.
There's literally we can read from anywhere in their house. You can reach your arms out and touch
And
a
write,
whiteboard,
yeah.
dude.
even if there's one in the kitchen.
Which
I was gonna
something
ask
I like
is-
about that.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask is how you organize 6 different projects at a time when you're like your graphic design stuff. I guess it's just because you have 1.5 million whiteboards.
I don't write anything on these whiteboards,
Oh.
print wise. No, something that helps me is I'm very type A. So like everything for me has to be on a spreadsheet and a list. So Google Sheets, I have everything color coded in order. I don't get lost. I know exactly what needs to be done when it needs to be done. Which is why I had a panic attack yesterday. I walked into the back of our shop and our employee was like typing something in on my print tracking like Google Sheets, and I was like, "What are you doing?
Don't fuck up
Yeah,
my
don't touch
formulas.
Don't touch it." I do have formulas in there for like how much we're gonna make off of everything, and like it calculates it for the month for me. And I
Oh yeah, one apostrophe out and it just totally destroys that whole thing too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like have you ever seen like when you mess up a formula on a sheet and it's like gives you the reference and the exclamation point? Yeah, drives me nuts. Absolutely bonkers.
Which brings to my next question. As far as what's it like to run a business and ultimately manage people is I think something that you and William are both coming to grips with, like whereas you bought a business, you're like, yay, we're business owners and we're gonna run a business that we don't know anything fucking about.
Yeah.
And you're like, whatever, we figured it out, da 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 da. But then you involve the concept of other humans are now like that you're directly in charge of, 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah. And them feeding their children and
Right.
it's so at the beginning, like Jonah said, like we had no idea what we were doing. I'm sure Williams talked about that before too. And like it probably took us 1.5 years before we were like comfortable and confident in like we know where the money's coming from because of how much is going in and out.
Sorry, we should mention that William and Gab run a independent retail shipping store.
And print shop.
And print shop. God damn it, that's where the money's
and whiteboard and whiteboard sales.
Coming soon.
And Whiteboard Emporium. Sorry, continue.
And we sell boxes.
You guys sell boxes?
And but quite successfully as well, right? Because you guys are doing quite well now. Like now that everything's been organized and stuff, you guys have got your feet wet.
Yeah, and it's when we took it over, it probably took us 3, maybe 4 months to realize all of the margins on everything were off. So we don't know how much money we were losing like in those first few months.
What do you mean margins? I don't understand.
So when you go to a retail shipping store, so you're not going to UPS, you're not going to FedEx, you're coming to a place like us that does everybody. We are like marked up from those, like we're retail. So in the shipping system, like we have to set margins on shipping.
The cost of shipping plus
shipping.
our profit.
Right.
Okay.
And so when you like go into our system, you can see exactly how much we're making off of each package. And if your margins are off, those numbers will be in red. So we just happened upon this training video and we were like, oh, let's go in and check it out. Like 4 months into owning the store and everything was in red.
So
every single number was in red.
If I'm following that logic correctly, that means that you were losing
Probably.
money.
Yeah, definitely.
Every time you ship something, you're like losing money.
Or breaking dead even.
Oh, I see.
So once we finally got all that fixed and like got our pricing down, and then we were like, yeah, now let's hire some people to help us. And now we have 2 employees, one with a kid, one who's like 18, she's just starting out in life, and we're responsible for paying them like their livelihood.
Yeah, and like, I mean, one you one of your employees has a kid. Mm-hmm. That's a big responsibility. Mm-hmm. The other one, you're like probably one of their first bosses, and like their introduction into the workforce is you and William.
Yeah. And
you're like, fuck, that's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Too? I don't know.
I don't know if I'm the best role model for an 18-year-old.
I think you are. I think you're great.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jen.
I think if I was an 18-year-old girl, I would look up to you.
Yeah, we do. I try and like keep it fun with her. Like she's so moldable, but she also is so eager to learn. Like if she doesn't understand something, she's the first to tell me, and she's like, please, like, help me. Like, I want to learn this. I want to get it right. Where we've had employees in the past who were older than us who had no interest in learning. They just wouldn't ask questions. And we know when you're not asking questions. We know when you're doing stuff wrong, you know? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is cool to have, like, younger people under you. But, yeah, managing people is hard. That long answer to that question. It's hard. That's for sure.
What's been the most difficult thing that you've come across? If you can even talk about it, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is because we are so like mom and pop. Like we're not corporate. I'm not a manager for a company. Like this is our company.
Yeah, like you are the HR department. You are the executive. Yeah. You are the general. Yeah.
The biggest thing is like separating myself or ourselves, I guess. Like I've always been like the fun person at work. Like I'll get shit done, no problem. But like I always I like to relate to people, and I think it's hard to be like, hey, like I'm not just your manager, I'm not just your boss, like I'm the owner of this store, and like this is my livelihood, this is my baby. So like if you fuck something up, like I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Yeah.
And I'm typically the one to, not that William doesn't handle those situations, but I definitely do like a better job because they're females that are under us, and he can't talk to them like they're Marines.
No. Does he talk to the male staff like they're Marines?
We have one male employee who works every Saturday, and William puts him to work. Yeah, there's no like male figure in his life. Like his dad was a Marine, like split.
I can't imagine William being my male role model. What a fucking disaster.
He's my male role model.
William?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I have a good dad. I have a good dad.
Yeah,
you know that.
No, Gab's like the first person ever on the podcast without daddy issues.
Yeah, I do have mommy issues, just no daddy issues.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's different.
Ask about it, doesn't it?
We can
I do. Yes, very curious.
We can dissect that too, if you want.
Explain to us. Can you explain to us your mommy issues? I'm curious.
Yeah.
About. It sounds so much weirder when I say it out loud.
Yeah, doesn't it? Like it, because daddy issues is such a norm.
Daddy issues is socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like
mommy issues create serial killers. Mommy issues create serial killers. You know,
you're right. Yeah.
Daddy issues create fucking strippers and assholes, and mommy issues create serial killers. 100%. Are you a psychopath, Gab?
I'm a sociopath.
I gotta call my mom.
Oh.
Surprise!
No, it's interesting because me and Kirley were talking about past traumas and stuff, and like mommy issues and things, because we both are rife with both, you know. So But explain. I'm really curious. It's interesting that it's come up.
Yeah, so me and my brother, so I'm the oldest of 4, and me and my brother that's directly under me are from my mom and my dad, and they got divorced when I was 2. My brother wasn't even a year old yet, and so I grew up with divorced parents, and
Here.
yeah. I think everybody did our age, right? Like everyone's parents were
No,
divorced.
you talk to Janie, none of her friends
And yeah, Rich and they're just angels.
Yeah.
But
You grow up in the hood or hood adjacent.
yeah,
Everyone's divorced.
yeah, exactly. No, so when
My
they got
hometown
divorced, I
had
was
2 hoods.
Oh, that's nice.
We had 2 hoods
Did you grow up in a trailer park too?
for
Or
a
you
little
grew up on a
bit,
farm.
and then I grew up on a farm. Yeah.
A farm is just a rural trailer park.
Hey, come on, man.
Depending.
We had like
It
about
depends.
6 inches more than a double wide, all right? You know, on one side and the end as well. It's pretty good.
Dude, like a farm is just a trailer park with more leg room, dude. Like
And animals. More animals.
yeah, so like, yeah,
Yeah.
it smells more like shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and more responsibility. Thank you very much.
No, dude.
I come from a
dude.
culture of people that work hard until they die, and then their last breath they say is like, "Yeah, at least I worked hard, cunt." Yeah.
And then they die.
No, I come from a
then
line
they
of
die,
people
yeah, that's
whose front yard is someone else's backyard.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. Sorry,
Don't
this
like
isn't
that.
about us, Gabby.
Sorry,
Gabby,
yeah, sorry,
go on.
Cap. Man, we're just fucking yeah.
What was the question?
Shut up,
Fucking
Gab.
sick of
We're talking about Jonah's trailer, dude. No, so you're saying about your mom and your dad split.
Oh, my mommy issues. Yeah. So, they got divorced, and I always like was more connected with my dad, and I couldn't ever figure out why until I got older and started like being around other people's families and noticed like how their moms were like so loving and coddling and like did everything for the kids, whereas like my mom bartended while she had us and was going through nursing school, so like she was never home. Like she was either at school or bartending, and I was like, okay, like that's kind of weird. Like we're always with other people, or we were with dad and stepmom. And the older I got, the more I realized like she is a hardcore narcissist. Like never talked good things to us. Everything was always our fault. Like even if we did what she asked us to do, it was never good enough. And like anytime we brought up conflict to her, any sort of issues, like we got reprimanded, we got yelled at for it. And so that's where like I have horrible communication issues, conflict resolution. Like I can't dissect things with people I have close relationships with, like because of that like upbringing from her.
Damn. That's interesting that you... Because a lot of people don't draw that parallel. They just have those fucking issues.
Right.
And then don't know where they come from, or like, that's just my personality or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're like, that you can directly correlate. You're like,
Yeah.
I have this problem because my mommy
Because of this.
didn't hug me enough. Or whatever.
Or because she yelled at us for every... Well, and I really talked to my dad about it after it was before I moved out here. I think it was my relationship that ended actually before I met William. We really dissected it because he never talked bad about our mom to us, and my mom talked bad about dad like all the time, and I was like, this like something's off here.
Was it like an every other weekend, like you had to go stay with your mom kind of thing, or your dad had full custody?
No. So when they got divorced, my dad got every other Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and every other Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So she had like 70% custody, and he was paying like $2,000 a month in child support. And yeah, that was a lot of money. And back in the 90s, like that's a lot of money.
would make me
fuck
flee the
Yeah.
state.
Yeah. Well, and so that was like the custody agreement. And then when I was 14, I called my mom one day and I was like, I don't want to live with you anymore.
You called her? Like, so you were in your 30 with your dad and you're like, hey, by the way,
Well, so
not coming home.
yeah, we eventually went to like week on, week off the older I got. Because it was hard to, like, as a young teen to like go back and forth throughout the week. We had school, like I was a cheerleader. We had a lot of stuff going on. So it was hard to go back and forth. And so I kept like I told my dad, I was like, I don't want to go back there. He was like, okay. He was like, well, I hate to do this to you, but you have to be the one to tell her that. Because, like, if I do it, she's going to think I'm, like, kidnapping you guys. Like, we can't go through this.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, that's
So
a good point.
I had texted her, and I was like, hey, Mom, like, can you call me? Like, we need to talk kind of thing. Let me just, this kind of sums her up in one.
Sure.
I text her this twice, no response. She calls me, and I'm in the van with my dad. And she was like, what is it? What's so important that you need to talk? Are you pregnant?
And you're 14?
I was 14.
What were you fucking?
Yeah, I did lose my virginity real young. But but that was her question. That was her question to me. I was like, hey.
Oh, mommy issues.
Mommy
We've been over this. Yeah, that's clear.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Instead of like what's bothering you, like what's going on, like you need to talk to me about what. Her first initial thing was, are you pregnant?
Were you?
Nope.
Oh.
I didn't want to live with her anymore.
Yeah, and how did she respond to that news?
She cussed me out and then she hung up the phone.
Fuck yeah.
So that's that's why I can't bring up conflict to people.
Oh, damn.
I
That
have confrontation issues.
You really need conflict resolution skills
Yeah.
for almost anything you do. Relationship, professional, anything that you do, do you feel like your growth in that department was kind of just stunted?
Very stunted. Yeah. No, I had a lot of issues, not with like work relationships, but definitely like my relationships.
Your personal relationships?
With friends and like partners, like whatever. It was all kind of until like I met William, really. And then he was like, we gotta learn to talk some shit out.
Yeah. It's interesting because obviously I'm one of William's best friends and like we talk all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we talk about his fucking relationship, and like I'm not trying to give away any like tell anything crazy, but sometimes he's like sometimes whenever like something comes up that like we get in a deep talk about something, Gab she just shuts down.
Very real.
Like she just can't handle it.
I go completely paralyzed.
Damn.
Yeah.
And like, what's going through your mind when those moments happen? Like, not necessarily like a particular situation.
No. So it's gonna sound so bad. Sometimes.
We love to hear it here on the Weasel.
Sometimes I do like I shut down and I just like parts of me like I'm like repeating like what just happened in my head. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm getting talked to about X, so I'm going to fix it with Y. But, like, meanwhile, like, this person's, like, talking at me with other...
they just keep going.
They just keep going, and I'm, like, processing. So sometimes I will be like, hey, like, can we, like, pause? Like, I need to process. And other times, my body and my mind just, like, shut down. So my body goes paralyzed, my mind goes paralyzed, and I'll start thinking about other shit.
You're just
like I can't tune into what's
you're
being...
like, I need to get cat food.
Yeah. Because I can't, like, I've heard, like, in my mind, like, what I need to hear has been heard, and I get what I'm being talked to about, so my mind will just, and I'm like...
You don't... You don't need any more information than what you've
No.
already gotten. That's all right.
I
You
can't
got what you
absorb. Yeah, I can't absorb that information.
Damn.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
And then I feel real bad because one would be like, so, and I'm like,
Well,
so.
And like, hold on. By the way, I know William. He's a talky motherfucker. And it, like the dude, and like honestly, he has a hard time. He has probably the opposite problem that you have.
Yeah.
Of like where like you're like I can only process one thing at a time. He's trying to process 45 different things at the same time, and just like short circuiting.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what an argument's like in the fucking William and Gabby household.
Sometimes the dogs get involved. Like, it just, sometimes I do.
Fuck.
Sometimes I do. Alright, I'm gonna try and do this without.
Yeah, cheers to that. Alright, re-up it. Are you having a vodka water?
Yeah.
Vodka and water?
She's putting... Okay, this is her concoction. She's having... It looks like a lot of water, frankly.
Oh, I did put too much water.
Drink some of it. Let me help you out.
You won't try Shivarasa breathing, but
You
you'll
wouldn't
drink
give
vodka
me your
water.
straw. Weird.
I didn't want it to poke your eye out. Wait, Micah, do you have mommy issues as well? Or
Oh,
just
of course.
daddy issues?
Yeah.
You have,
Yeah,
I
no,
feel
I've
like-
got both.
everybody our age has either one, the other, or both.
I got both.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel
We
like
know.
if you've listened to if you actually listened to the episodes, you can
Well,
read between.
I also know you.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. We are just friends at the end of the day.
Friends.
Well, you want to be more than friends? Like, let's talk. Let's talk. I mean, we can negotiate something.
We talked about this the other day because William and I
Oh,
have.
God.
We got wills made. There's a law office like next door, and we do a bunch of favors for them. So they, in return, like made our wills,
Oh,
right?
yeah, you mentioned this, and I was like,
Yeah.
you were like, yeah, we made. Like, you were like, you have our cats if we die, and I was like, what the fuck?
I jokingly told Jonah that I gifted my cats to him and Janie if William and I were both to go. I didn't do that in the will. But
What did you give us?
Nothing. It doesn't work that
Okay.
way. It doesn't really work that way.
What do you mean?
Like, so in a will and like your healthcare power of attorney and in a living will, you just kind of like mention like what you want to do, like if you were to be kept alive, and like who's going to make your medical decisions for you. But like William and I have this house, 2 cars, and 4 animals. Like it's not
Right.
like we have a trust to divvy
Yeah.
out to everybody.
Yeah.
So you can't gift your animals to people. You don't have
Well,
lots
great,
of money.
I would throw most of yours in the trash.
Damn.
Would you say
I'm
though?
not gonna say which ones I would keep, but there's some I would throw in the trash.
I do have a handicapped cat.
Her cat
What?
doesn't walk so good,
She
dude.
don't.
Is it because it
And
has
it
3
poops
legs, or is it
sometimes.
just mentally handicapped?
She's losing muscle mass in her back legs.
What do you do about that?
Oh.
The doctors, they took blood and they said her blood work looks fine. The next step is a neuro test, and I said, I'm not paying for that.
No, sir.
She's gonna live till she's like 19. She'll be all right.
Gab, if you have an untimely death, I will take your handicapped cat, and that's all you need to know. I'll take it.
What are you going to use it
What
for?
happens to it will be swift and will be just. But
funny.
And funny.
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
The situation will be resolved.
Okay.
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 Okay. Bow bow.
Wow.
So wait, you had to make a will? As far as like, hey, like if I die, fucking you get this, you get that.
Don't donate my body to science. No, you don't. In a will, you don't like divvy your shit up. That's like a trust. We don't have a trust because we're not millionaires.
So what happens if you die then? What does happen to your animals?
I assume my
That's all your
siblings
shit.
take them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's whoever your power of
Like
attorney is. They just
Yeah.
are supposed to take care of it. Yeah.
Well, so my power of attorney goes from.
Did I come up at all? Is my
No,
question.
you're not in. We legally would have to call you if you were in our wills. You're not in our wills.
I feel like
But my power of
I feel like I have a
attorney-
claim somewhere as like, you know, an X in the mix. I
You
think
didn't come up. No, mine is William, and then my dad, and then Lynn.
Wait, your power of attorney is with people that's older than you? Like much older than you?
Yeah. In her untimely death. Yeah, she changed it.
My untimely would be
Yeah.
like next year.
You know what though? Like you know what I can picture is like you guys
No.
fucking
No.
you guys just get in a full
It's like 50 years down the road.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
My will have changed in 50 years.
This Brorch is gonna be. I'm fucked up. Brorch is gonna be good. I'm picturing you guys. You guys just like I don't know. There's a flash of light. You swerve incoming traffic. Semi takes you both out.
Does it have to be a car accident?
Yes, it does. It does. It's poetic at this point.
Maybe
Either
I was
way,
thinking
all
like
of
I
you-
was thinking like a runaway gazelle accidentally impaled by a runaway gazelle next to a
That would be
highway.
cool.
That's pretty
No.
cool.
Yeah,
that
that's
would
pretty
be cool.
Yeah,
Nah,
that's an
I think it's-
untimely
Or, like-
death.
Let's be real.
Like an owl dives down and just.
Oh, straight through the back of your head.
An
Yes.
owl
They do
scalps
that.
you?
They do that.
Yes, they do that,
What
dude.
the fuck?
Yeah,
What do you mean they
I heard
do
it.
that?
I heard a theory. It
Go
was
ahead.
because they could see your brain's heart, the heat from your brain, and it looks like a certain type of food that they can't get anymore, right? That's gone extinct.
What?
Yeah,
That they,
right. Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
mean
yeah.
they can't
Some
get
kind of.
anymore?
It's
They're
some
like, I
kind of
remember the fucking.
yeah, like there's some
the, like,
kind of
the
like
super fruit.
ancient. Yeah, there's like it's like some kind of ancient shrew that has the same shape as the heat wave off your person's head, and they can't get it anymore. But it's in their DNA, and they're like, fucking, yeah, and they just fucking, yeah, it's crazy.
So I just thought it was because they were like predators and they know that like on a human like that's like a instant kill spot.
I don't think an owl wants to eat you.
But
Well,
they do
that's
kill people.
which
I
one
have
is more
never-
terrifying? though?
They dive down and they peck like right there and they
Yeah.
cut your brain.
Stem. Yeah, they like
Honestly,
I'm not
go
going
straight
out
for your
like
brain
Death by
stem.
owl.
I'm not going
What
out
would
like
be
that.
more-
I'm not gonna let an
what's-
owl.
I ain't going out like that. I ain't going out.
An owl's not gonna peck me to death, bitch. All right.
But they do.
I will. Oh my god. I wish an owl would fucking try something on the back of my brainstem, bitch. I would fucking like Kratos plant it on the ground and rip its fucking wings off. I don't know why I got so hyped about this owl. I'm just like, what a bitch fucking way to die.
You want to know why, dude? I'll tell you why. It's because you're scared. There's a part of you deep down that's scared about getting fucking killed by an owl. Because you wouldn't know, dude. Not until it's too late, bro.
You wouldn't know.
That's scary.
You'd be fucking dead. And you'd
Just
be
be
in
dead.
limbo.
And you'd have those
and
few
you would
minutes.
Wake up and in purgatory.
Whoa.
We did talk about purgatory recently. I guess you're referencing.
I've
Can
got
I
a pretty
be
cool
really quick? Is
purgatory
that
set
allowed?
up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
we're,
did you-
We are.
we're
We're
at
at
about
about
a-
an hour though.
Did
Yeah. Okay.
Did Mike and have any other questions before I move to?
The Brorch. Yeah, Mike. Did you have any other pressing questions for the people to be answered about our
Well,
number one fan, Gabby?
I
she
I
hates.
wrote
Oh,
down
don't
some
call-
questions.
She hates being called that. I exclusively call her that.
What, Gabby?
Give us one. Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
like being called Gabby.
But I only
You
call
don't like
her
being
You
called
sure you don't
Gabby?
like it? Even when I
No.
say it?
So there's 3 people who have exclusively called me Gabby that I don't correct anymore, and you are one of them.
Who are the other two?
Wow.
Sierra's sister. So my best friend's sister,
Okay.
and then an old coworker from Topgolf,
Wow.
who I just see like once a year randomly. She lives in Kansas, and I always, every time, like I randomly see her once a year.
That is not good company for me to be a part of.
What do you want, dude?
All
What do
right.
you want? You call her a name she doesn't like, for
He-
fuck's sakes.
Well,
Yeah.
do you know why though? Do you know why
No.
he calls me Gabby? Because he did it at first because he knew I didn't like it, and now it's stuck. Yeah.
The answer is
You're
the
a
short
prick,
answer is
are you?
I'm kind of a cock, dude. Yeah, I'm
Just
kind of a cock about shit.
Just a little
Okay,
one. Huh?
you get yeah, little tiny baby cock. Gabby has to piss, but ask one of your questions to Gabby to close out the podcast. Do you want to go piss first?
Yeah, can I pee first?
Yeah,
Okay.
you
Yeah, go
you
piss.
definitely
Hey,
can.
go,
Can I
go,
keep
go.
the headphone in?
Yeah, you can.
If you want.
I
She
really
wants to
gotta
listen.
go.
You're only gonna hear one side of the conversation, but that's fine.
It's the better side of the conversation. Bah!
Fuck you, bitch. Oh man, it's been pretty interesting being here for a week. I'm glad that I took a week because
Yeah.
a week is a good amount of time to like really entrench yourself in a place, right? Like you like I was like, hey, I'm still working. I'm gonna be working for this time. So like I kind of got like a baby taste of like, hey, what life might be like if I lived here, as opposed to taking like a 3-day weekend and then I'm just like in fucking vacation mode. So it's been pretty interesting, man, and I've really enjoyed my time here. They got a sweet fucking house.
A lot of whiteboards. No, it does feel nice staying somewhere for a week. I mean, even like on a holiday, a week's a good amount of time because, you know, you don't have to try to fit as much stuff into like 3 or 4 days. You know, you've got 7 days. You get there, you relax for the first 2, go out, peruse things, get your surroundings those 2 days, and then go start finding stuff to do for the next 4. And then you've got a couple days to chill out before you take
Yeah,
off
but this
again.
was even like I used to live here. So part of what I got into talks with real briefly for work with that, so like I met a client in person, never done that before. It was kind of fucking scary, but interesting. And my bad, dude.
It's okay.
But like the first thing I asked him pretty much was, I was like, hey man, I used to come down, dude, I used to get off work and come down here Friday, Saturday night, tear this fucking strip up like a block away and just get fucked up, man. Get absolutely goddamn wrecked right here. And he was like, yep, I see that every goddamn weekend. You and your kind come down here, fuck up our strip. But no, we had a really nice conversation, all in all, and his like dad was a Marine, like his dad's dad was a Marine, and I was like, why weren't you a Marine?
Super
Semper Fi.
Do or die.
I bet you get that. I bet you get that a lot, honestly.
Is the owner a Marine? Yeah, I'm also the owner, not a Marine.
Just say you are.
Oh.
Yeah,
Even
you're
better.
Right.
She's a Marine's fiance wife.
Yeah, you're pretty much like
Fiance.
admitting you got diddled in a barracks room at some point.
Yeah, I guess you get like his rank. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because if I like fall into you're like, yeah, my fiance was a Marine. They're like, oh yeah, what did he do? And I'm like, cranes. I don't.
Crane.
He worked with the boats too. I don't. They're like, yeah, what rank? Because we get some military wives that come in and they're like,
what rank?
well, because my husband, like when he was in E4, like blah, 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 and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And they, like,
E4. That's the same that William was.
Yeah.
E4 ain't shit.
But they'll start like throwing out like numbers and letters, and I'm like, yeah, so good. That'll be $374. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Fuck you.
Give me your husband's money, you dumb
Yeah,
bitch.
give me your government money, please. Yeah, no, I was listening while I was in the bathroom, and I wish every time we went back to Kansas City, we could be there for a week. It'd just make everything so much easier.
I mean, I'm blessed in the ability to. I'm too blessed to stress. I'm blessed.
Blessed.
I'm fortunate in the ability to on God.
On God.
On God.
On God, for
fortunate-
real. No cap.
Yes.
For real.
For real.
No play.
Yes, sir. I'm
Say
fortunate
less.
in the ability to like I have a job that I can do from home, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna fucking do that from anywhere then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna try it out. Like, and then the first and best place I thought of to try it out was visiting you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I can do my job from anywhere. All we need is fucking internet. I'm gonna try it at the fucking beach then.
Well, because you knew, like, we're not gonna fuck with you. Like, if you're working, like, we're also working.
Yeah.
Well, as you saw. Well, and, like...
Kinda. Your guys' workflow is a disaster.
Well, like I could also work from anywhere if we had a up-to-date laptop to bring everywhere.
That's possible.
possible.
Mike,
That's
and
easy.
you have
One more question?
you have one more question for Gabby before we sign off.
Oh, all right.
I said that unironically. I said that referring to her. Sorry, dude.
You
You want a shot of tequila?
I don't do tequila.
Now that fucking attitude. you
No.
got.
It puts hair on my chest, okay?
There's nothing wrong with hair on your chest. Plenty of women
I'm
have
Italian.
hair on their chest.
I'm Italian. I do have hair on my chest.
See, you've already got it. It's fine. Drink some
Do you get like hair around your nipples? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I don't actually have hair on my chest.
I've seen bitches with some.
I do. I have. Fun fact, because I feel like a lot of people who listen like aren't women. I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
No.
that's
It's
a
funny
good
that,
call.
Women's,
Figured that out.
women's hormones are absolutely insane. So I did it's almost been a year, stop taking birth control, like oral birth control.
Oh,
So like I
no.
stopped putting additional hormones into my body.
It's been a year.
It's been over a year actually. Last March I stopped taking it.
Okay.
Um,
This is so interesting in the fact of you have a control of like you used to take birth control and now you've had a year of data to evaluate yourself and how you feel.
Yeah, I was a fucking monster on birth control. Like my hormone,
so?
like I would snap. Like my temper was short. I was way more naggy, snappy. I would get horrible like hot flashes, which like I don't get anymore. Like almost like menopause like I would get hot flashes, I'd get cranky. My sex drive was super low. Like I had almost no sex drive, like I was never initiating for sex, and ever like since I stopped taking that, like all of that flipped around. So like I'm
You horny as fuck.
I'm horny now, which is like that's natural. Like that's a natural thing.
I agree.
My temper is lower. I'm less like quick to snap. But on the flip side of that, I have slowly started getting like mustache and chin hairs.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, that's not the worst thing.
You can't see
like you
it.
feel, but you feel better though, don't you? Physically, you feel
yeah.
better.
Yeah, I feel so much better. I feel more natural. Like everything is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, because guys typically don't understand the connection between like the hormones that are in birth control, like what stop the the whole process, and like the effects they have on the rest of your body. Yeah. It's not something guys think about.
No.
So that's interesting. Like
I think like 12 years I was on birth control.
Yeah. Well, a lot of women take it for like acne and stuff in high school and things as well, don't they?
Yeah. Well, and I started because like every period I was missing 2 or 3 days of school, like high school.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because everything was so bad, and so I started taking it because of that, not even because of sex.
Even though we have established that it was relevant.
It was relevant, but
Did that have anything to do with why your periods were so bad?
A lot more cream pies, I reckon.
Wait, did what have?
Like having being sexually active so early, did that have anything to do with your periods being so bad?
I've never read up on that.
Okay.
But that's possible. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know the exact timeline. I'm just asking. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it has any connection or not, but yeah.
Do you want to know my period timeline?
Yeah. What do you want? Are you like now that you're off now that you're off birth control? Is it like a very regular monthly thing, or are you?
No,
because you don't skip
No, I don't skip, and I used to skip. But yeah, now like I know exactly when everything's gonna happen, and it's kind of like mind blowing.
Would you ever go back to birth control?
Yes, I would. Probably when like if I would ever have kids, and then want to like stop having kids, if I had them all naturally and like didn't have a C-section where I had the opportunity to have my tubes tied, like I would probably get back on birth control. Like I'm a firm believer of like when you're not ready to have kids, or like when you don't want to have kids, like that's full control. Yeah,
you guys are honestly kind of a problem. You know, like every month I'm just like, all right, shit, we got like I'm constant. I remember back in my youth. I was constantly worried about knocking up bitches. And, like, these weren't bitches that I wanted to knock up at any point. And, it was a constant problem. I mean, I always had to worry about knocking up bitches.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because then they're going to nag me for things and child support. Seems messy. Am I right? Seems messy. Let's avoid that.
You know what?
And get on birth control, ladies.
On behalf of all women, sorry. It's our fault. It doesn't take 2, it just takes 1.
Okay, fuck. We gotta cut it there. We gotta cut it there, dude.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Gabrielle, thank you very much for joining us. I know we got a little bit of a weird insight.
Thanks for having me on.
I really appreciate it.
I love you
Jonah,
so much, Gabby.
Always...
That time I said it on purpose.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Everybody come join us on the Brorch. I think we're going to talk more about Gabrielle's sex life and her mommy issues. Anything? Was there anything that you really wanted to talk about on the Brorch, Gab, that you want to tease on here?
Oh, on the Brorch. I think sex life's probably like a good tease because I'm a woman.
I wrote down.
But I'm a straight woman.
Okay.
Damn.
I feel like the only like woman you've had on here is Maggie.
Janie.
We had Janie
Oh, yeah, you
and
had Janie.
We've had some
Brianna.
bitches on.
You've had some bitches on?
Brianna's a bitch.
Okay,
At the end of
I
the
didn't
day.
want to offend anybody.
I think we've actually had more bitches on than we have had not bitches.
I think so, actually.
If you
So
include
me,
fucking
Brianna, Janie, William.
It's because we're uncomfortable.
William.
Yeah, Williams. Oh, I like.
He's a bit of a bitch, isn't he?
He's my favorite
All right.
bitch.
He's the best bitch. That beautiful bitch. All right, everybody. We love you guys a lot. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.